Not all supers are created equal. Some supers will win you the game even when you completely misplay. Others, they look flashy, they feel powerful, and they do absolutely nothing at a high level. Today we're ranking the 10 best and 10 worst supers in Brawl Stars. Starting with the 10 worst, based on their competitive draft presence, monthly finals usage, high ladder win rates, how easy they are to counter, and their raw fight swinging potential. After that, we're flipping the script and ranking the 10 best supers that are deciding scrims, tournaments, and top 100 ladder matches right now. And yes, some of your favorite brawlers are about to get exposed. The following supers look good on paper, but completely collapse in real competition. Here are the 10 worst supers in Brawl Stars. Coming in at number 10 is Nita. This might be a hot take, but Nita's super is a stat stick, not a win condition. In competitive drafts, Nita's pick rate drops dramatically on any open map. Why? Because her bear, Bruce, becomes nothing more than free supercharge for high damage brawlers like Colt, Rico, and Belle. Against any coordinated team, Bruce survives for less than 3 seconds on average, unless he's propped up by a gadget and a hypercharge. That's not a fight swing. That's just temporary pressure. You almost never see Nita in the monthly finals unless it's a very specific heist map, and that tells you everything you need to know. At number 9, we have Mr. P. The problem with Mr. P's super is that it provides slow, gradual value, and slow value gets absolutely crushed by the current burst meta. Right now, splash damage brawlers dominate the draft. We're talking about Squeak, Spike, Sandy, Charlie. All of them delete the porters instantly. More often than not, those porters just end up feeding the enemy team's supercharge instead of applying any meaningful pressure. Let's be real, if your super is giving the enemy more value than it's giving you, it's not a good super. Sliding into number 8 is Bull. Bull's super is the definition of predictable commitment. If you look at the stats, Bull's win rate on high ladder only spikes in heist. In any control-based mode, it's below average. The reason is simple: good players just sidestep his charge. It's that easy. And once Bull commits to that charge, he has no exit strategy. He's a sitting duck. That's why you rarely see Bull drafted outside of very specific safe rush compositions. Next up, at number 7, it's Jackie. Jackie's super is all disruption with zero protection. It doesn't stun. It doesn't give her a shield. There's no damage immunity. She just pulls everyone in and dies first. In a meta defined by high burst damage, abilities that root you in place are incredibly dangerous. In competitive play, her super is basically a suicide button. It looks cool, but it gets you sent back to the respawn screen almost every time. At number 6, we have Ash. Those little rats from his super can seem overwhelming in low ladder games, but in high-level scrims, they evaporate instantly. Statistically, the pick rate for area of effect brawlers in competitive drafts is extremely high right now, and splash damage is the ultimate counter to swarm mechanics. Ash's super is entirely matchup dependent, and matchup dependent supers just don't crack the top tiers of the game. They're too inconsistent to be considered great. Cracking the top 5 worst supers is Frank. In theory, Frank's super is one of the most powerful abilities in the game, a massive area of effect stun that can wipe an entire team. The problem is, interruption tools are everywhere. We have genie pulls, terror pulls, stuns from a dozen different brawlers, and all sorts of knockbacks. The higher you climb the ladder, the lower Frank's super success rate becomes. As a pro observation, Frank almost never makes it through a competitive draft without the enemy team picking multiple hard counters. At number 4 is Hank. Hank's super doesn't force the enemy to create space. It just sort of suggests they create space. And a suggestion isn't pressure. It doesn't isolate a target. It doesn't guarantee any burst damage. It doesn't control the tempo of the game. It just exists. It's one of the least impactful supers, offering very little strategic value in a coordinated environment. Now for number 3. And I know the angry comments are coming for this one, Edgar. Edgar's super only works when your enemies misposition. That's it. In competitive play, good teams will literally hold their own supers and gadgets specifically to counter an Edgar jump. If you're big, game-changing super gets completely neutralized by basic awareness and team coordination. It's a weak super. He's a pub stomper, but against players who know what they're doing, he's a liability. Taking the number to spot is Doug. The core issue with Doug's super is that reviving a teammate is a reactive play, and reactive supers are almost always weaker than proactive ones. Good teams will see the revive, immediately disengage, heal up, and reset the fight. It rarely creates a permanent numbers advantage because the enemy team just plays around it. You get a second chance, but you're often in the same bad position you died in the first time. And the number 1 worst super in all of Brawl Stars is Mortis. Yes, Mortis. At the pro level, The dream of a Mortis super chaining through 3 enemies to get a full heal and a team wipe just doesn't happen anymore. Why? Player spacing is better, peeling for your teammates is better. Shields and defensive abilities are everywhere. Mortis is one of the flashiest brawlers in the game, and pulling off a great play feels amazing. But flashy isn't the same as dominant. And in terms of consistent, game-winning impact, his super falls flat against the best players. Alright, now let's flip the script. It's time to talk about the supers that define drafts, win tournaments, and dominate the meta. These are the 10 best supers in Brawl Stars. Starting our top 10 list is Genie. Genie's magic hand forces your opponents to maintain perfect positioning for the entire game. One tiny mistake, one step out of line, and it's instant death for them. Statistically, Genie remains one of the most banned mid laners on control-based maps. That's because the mere threat of his super changes how the entire enemy team has to play, even before he's actually used it. That is the sign of an elite S-tier ability. At number 9, we have Terra. Terra's super punishes grouping harder than any other ability in the game. And where do players group up? Constantly around objectives. Think gem grab, hot zone, brawl ball. One well-placed Terra super can single-handedly end the round. It's a game winner. Pro teams still use her as a clutch pick in monthly finals for this exact reason. The potential for a team-wiping ultimate is just too powerful to ignore. In the number 8 spot is Spike. Spike's super is objective denial at its absolute finest. It slows enemies and melts tanks, and it completely prevents a push on to an objective. In hot zone especially, his super has a direct statistical correlation with huge spikes in win rate when it's used to control the zone. Any ability that forces the enemy team to move is incredibly valuable, and Spike's super forces movement better than almost anyone. Up next at number 7 is Surge. Surge's super is all about scaling dominance. Each time he uses it to level up, the pressure he exerts on the map increases exponentially. A late-game, fully upgraded Surge in a competitive scrim becomes nearly unapproachable for most brawlers. Supers that scale over the course of a match are what win long, grueling sets, and Surge is the king of scaling. Charging in at number 6 is Fang. Fang's chain dash punishes low-health targets like nothing else in the game. It's a pure snowball mechanic. Make one mistake against a Fang who has his super, and it can easily turn into a full team wipe. He's the ultimate cleanup artist, and that's exactly why you see teams specifically draft spacing and anti-dive compositions just to deal with him. At number 5, we have Max. Max's super doesn't win fights directly by doing damage. It wins tempo, and tempo wins games. Her team-wide speed boost enables everything: objective steals, aggressive team collapses on a single target, and safe disengages from a lost fight. Pro teams absolutely love tempo-based supers, because controlling the pace of the match is how you win sets at the highest level. Breaking into the top 4 is Cordelius. Sending a key enemy player to the Shadow Realm is a game-changing mechanic. It isolates carries. It completely removes their damage from the fight for a crucial period of time. Even if Cordelius just trades 1 for 1 inside the Shadow Realm, he's bought his team valuable time in a 2 versus 2 on the main map. And in competitive play, time is everything. Our number 3 best super belongs to Charlie. Her cocoon is simple. It creates a forced man advantage situation. A temporary numbers advantage is one of the strongest and most reliable mechanics in the entire game. Taking one player out of the fight, even for just a few seconds, allows your team to collapse and secure a kill, an objective or critical map control. You see Charlie constantly picked or banned in drafts for this exact reason. Coming in second place is Buster, a team-wide shield that blocks all incoming projectiles. It enables forward pressure unlike anything else. It allows your team to walk with lanes they should be losing, turning a defensive situation into a full-blown offensive push. Defensive supers that can be used to initiate an attack are absolutely S-tier, and Buster's wall is the prime example of this powerful design. And finally, the number 1 best super in all of Brawl Stars is Sandy. Sandy's Sandstorm is the ultimate team-enabling ability. It affects all 3 of his teammates, giving them invisibility, massive zone control, and incredible synergy with his healing star power. Competitively, Sandy has maintained a strong pick and ban presence across multiple different metas. Why? Because vision denial is completely broken in coordinated play. You cannot shoot what you cannot see, and that fundamental truth is what wins games. So, that's our list. If you disagree with even 3 picks on this list, good, because in the next video we're ranking hypercharges and some of those abilities are straight up criminal. Drop your most controversial super take down in the comments below. I'll read through them, then I'll pin the spiciest one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more competitive Brawl Stars analysis, rankings, character concepts, and more.